Hey, what's going on, people? Today I'm going to be talking about Bill and Ted Face the Music. I watched this on VUDU yesterday, and today I will be reviewing the video quality along with the movie itself and the audio as well. So without any other further ado, let's get into the movie itself. I have always really liked the Bill and Ted franchise just because of the fact that, if you take other characters that are kind of like Bill and Ted, like any Will Ferrell character or Beavis and Butthead or man-childs of that generation, what you get is somebody that has more ill intent that Bill and Ted have. At the end of the day, Bill and Ted just want to have a good time, and they're very uplifting characters, and they're easier characters that endear you and put you on their side more. You don't feel like if you just let these guys be their man-child self out in in their 50s like they are in this movie, you don't really feel like they would be freaking dangerous. And with Beavis and Butthead, I have a feeling that today, one of them is in jail, the other one is dead of something. Those characters were man-children that could potentially be dangerous. These are just affable and lovable. And that is largely due to the fact that the way that Alex Winters and Keanu played their characters, Bill and Ted here, it's just a different vibe than all other men-child characters out there today. And if you guys didn't remember at the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, one key factor that came in at the end of the movie is they would create the song that would unite the world and save it. That is quite the thing and quite the burden to put on people, especially with the mindset of Bill and Ted. And here in their 50s, they have the enormous burden of actually creating that song. Now, another key element here is that if you didn't remember the end of Bogus Journey, Bill and Ted actually have children, and here they are in their early 20s, and so their children here are also on their own journey to build the best band that they can possibly build for Bill and Ted for when they finally create that song. And what I will say is these actresses here that are Bill and Ted's offspring are just pitch perfect replicas of what Bill and Ted are, and they're just awesome. They are, to me, the best part of this movie, to be quite honest with you, just because of the fact that they just have that energy and they don't feel burdened by age the way that Alex Winters definitely has, and to an even bigger extent Keanu definitely has. Because my only real gripe with this movie is the fact that, Alex Winters, for the most part, still has it. He is still Bill. And I applaud him for that in this film. But Keanu, my man, Keanu, he feels like he is still in John Wick mode. He feels like he is just delivering this very dry performance. And he has lost his dudeness. He's lost his touch. He's lost his inner Ted Theodore Logan. And that is crazy to me, because for the longest time, that's all I could see him as. But that's not him anymore, and you can clearly tell, specifically in some scenes, where he tries to bring the funny, and he's just delivering it so dry, it almost feels like deadpan, and that's not Ted Theodore Logan at all. But beyond that, I do feel like this movie is amazing. Death comes back, and he steals the movie. And I love the character of Death He's my favorite character of this entire series, and I enjoyed his presence. And overall, I just feel like this is a light, fun time at the movies, and I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. And so getting into the video quality here, there is very little known about the actual specs of at this point in time. I will say that it definitely seems like it's a 2K master, and which means that when it is ported over to 4K, this is going to be an upscale. But with that being said, I do feel like this is just largely a very, very good transfer. Nonetheless, you know, I've seen my fair share of films streamed, and what I will say is that some of them come across pretty soft. This comes across very crisp with very, very fine lines to it. The dimension that these characters pop out of the foreground to the background, I do feel like that is really well done here. And a matter of fact, I feel like this actually looks better than Sonic did streaming and better than Birds of Prey did streaming. This is more along the lines of what we saw with Bloodshot, and that is damn good. Detail here is also very, very well done. You know, specifically when we're getting into a lot of clothing and a lot of textures in their clothing, that is excellently well done. A lot of close-ups reveal a lot of wrinkles, and specifically Alex Winter's face and a lot of hair strands. Along with that, when you're getting into backgrounds, I do feel like some of the CGI can feel a little bit soft, specifically with the blue screen, with the backdrops, when these characters finally do travel in time and they get into more blue screen elements. I do feel like some of the scenery there is a little left to be desired as far as detail work goes, but that is all that I can say as far as detail in the negative goes. There is some aliasing with some of the whiter scenes here, and that I would very much think that would be a problem with the stream and compression, because that can also happen a lot with streaming. So with a physical copy, whenever we do get to see that, I do expect that to go away. And as far as HDR goes, this is better than I expected, because this is more CGI than I expected. This is only a movie that was budgeted for $25 million, which is not a lot. When you're getting into a lot of the white backdrops that happen, they are very bright and vibrant and almost eye-blinding. And then when we get into hell, we definitely have a lot more of a warmer aesthetic that pops off the screen equally as well. And even though the detail might not be there, the color definitely is. And a lot of the blacks just dip perfectly to black. I didn't notice any grayish hue to any of the blacks here, and I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I do feel like that this is a very, very good stream. And as far as the audio goes, there is no Dolby Atmos bits. There is only Dolby Digital Plus 5.1. But what I will say about it is it's an excellent 5.1. And it's more aggressive than what you would normally think also. Largely because of the bass here. The bass is where it's at. Whenever a song kicks in, these guys rock out and the subwoofer kicks. Along with that, also, you get whenever they go back in time and the telephone booth crashes into the ground, you definitely hear that thud go through the subwoofer, and it is awesome. Speaker separation is really excellent for Dolby Digital Plus. You can definitely hear crystal clear in the surrounds. It doesn't sound faded at all, and speaker separation definitely is just wide and expansive here, and dialogue is always crystal clear, and that is why I'm going to give this another 8 out of 10. If it would give me an Atmos track for this, would have gave it a 9. So guys, getting into my last looks at Bill and Ted Face the Music. If you know what you're getting into and you are very well versed with these films, I do feel like you are going to be very well pleased with this movie because it definitely puts you back in the vibe of the first Bill and Ted film. It is wacky, it is zany, and it is very well intentioned, and it doesn't have a lot of the weighty issues that a lot of films today want to have. It's just concerned with having fun, and that's not a bad thing. And if you want my final scores for Bill and Ted, we're going to have to wait until the physical copy comes out. But what I will say is this is definitely worth streaming. I only paid $25 for this on VUDU, and I actually got $3 back from them for pre-ordering this. By the time that you guys see this, the pre-orders will be gone because this will already be out, but still this is only $25. So that is not bad at all. So coming up next on the channel, I do have to get into Pitch Black in 4K and Beetlejuice. I'm excited about that one. Can't wait to talk to you guys about that. So if you're excited about that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment down below. Let me know about other things this month that you want me to review. This is going to be a heavy month, and I am going to enjoy the hell out of it. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you all know it. And I will see all of you next time.